Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very proud to publicly speak on one of my first bills as a state senator. I'm honored to announce SB 403, Ending Discrimination on the Basis of Caste, a civil rights bill. I want to make it clear what this bill will do. SB 403 would clarify California's civil rights law to explicitly include protection against discrimination based on a person's position in a caste, which SB 403 defines as a system of social stratification where each position is characterized by hereditary status, endogamy, social barriers, and other forms of segregation. As a woman of color, I'm incredibly sensitive to the ways in which other cultures, faiths, and beliefs are depicted, perceived, and discussed in mainstream media, politics, and our laws. The movement to raise the issue and protect vulnerable individuals that are being discriminated against based on caste starts in my region and my district. We have witnessed 3 high-profile issues related to caste. 1, the Google whistleblower, Tanuja Gupta, who spoke out about casteism in the company. 2, the effort to add caste to California State University's anti-discrimination policies originated at Cal State East Bay in Hayward, and the ongoing lawsuit against Cisco. What these 3 examples share is they are in relation to organizations and companies. There are countless others who are facing caste-based oppression that do not feel safe to speak up or speak out. As California becomes increasingly diverse, our policies and our laws need to stretch further and deeper in protecting more people from basic discrimination. In fact, the California Democratic Party voted to memorialize the right to be free from discrimination on the basis of caste, thereby making our activism spaces more inclusive, particularly for those in the AAPI community. The NAACP, the California State University system, and many other groups have declared their support of anti-discrimination against caste oppression. And it is clear that this needs to happen in our state laws. The American dream is about coming to this country and living your life to your fullest potential. Seeing people experiencing discrimination and constituents sharing their stories with me, however nuanced and different from mainstream stories, moved me to act in support and solidarity. I will continue to use the great privilege I have of serving my constituents as a state senator by pushing bills that affect everyday people. My bills will center on a framework of balancing power and protecting the most vulnerable. This bill does both. This bill is about workers' rights, women's rights, and civil rights. And no civil rights bill has been fought for without opposition. And my office has already begun to field opposition inquiries to this bill. What the opposition would have you believe is that this bill's effort to provide clarity of language in state law and protection to caste-oppressed Dalits in particular, or formerly known as the untouchables, is in turn targeting a different group of oppressed people. That is not the case. When I look at these 3 cases, the Google case, the CSU system, and Cisco, I see workplaces and a cornerstone of California's education system, none of which are oppressed groups of people. In fact, those are some of California's most powerful organizations. Opponents need to ask themselves why they so strongly want to associate themselves with this form of discrimination. This bill is about ensuring organizations and companies do not entrench caste discrimination in their practices or policies, and to do that, our laws need to plainly state that discrimination based on caste is illegal. I'm grateful to the people joining me today to share their experiences with you all. I hope as you listen to them, you begin to understand that caste is a system that confers and denies power and privilege in order and in scope on groups of people because of their lineage. That, by definition, is textbook discrimination and should categorically be banned. I would like to thank APALA and the Alphabet Workers Union for being here in support and solidarity, as well as many other civil rights groups And finally, it's with great honor to have Dr. Cornell West speak in support of one of my first bills. Before we get to our first speaker, I would like to share a taped statement from Dr. Cornell West.
Not just take a stand, but to follow through on a rich moral and spiritual issue of our time, which is the issue of caste and the ways in which caste loses sight of the precious humanity of too many of our fellow human beings and our fellow citizens. In the name of Martin Luther King Jr., in the name of Ambedkar, I call on you to vote, to fight, to take a stand, to ensure that this bill passes so that there is no caste discrimination in the largest state, my home state, the largest state in the Union, California. I stand in deep solidarity with my dear sister, Senator Aisha Wahab. I especially stand in deep solidarity with my dear sister, the one and only, the visionary and courageous, the Mari son of Rahana. That's right. And the team at Equality Labs, all of the Dallas Civil Rights organizers and organizations, and those Californians for caste equality. And in all honesty, this is part and parcel of a moral and spiritual awakening in which we ensure that every human being, no matter what color, no matter what gender, no matter what sexual orientation, no matter what caste, treated with the dignity they deserve and have their preciousness and pricelessness affirmed as human beings and as citizens under the law. It's up to you. I think we can do it. I think you will do it. Yes, sir.
Thank you. And, you know, I really want to make sure that people understand that this bill is primarily about the people. It is a large, growing coalition of individuals that support this bill that want to speak up about what they are facing. And I want people to hear directly from them. So I will begin with our first speaker, then Maury Soundarajan, Executive Director of Equality Labs. Thank you.
J-Beam, everybody. It is my honor that this Dalit History Month, I can stand here with my community and our allies in labor, in racial, in gender justice movements and say, caste-oppressed people are here and that we deserve workplaces and educational institutions free from discrimination and violence. As someone who grew up in Los Angeles and was faced bullying in K-12 schools here, as I fought casteist harassment at University of Berkeley, as I organized against the Lucky Bali Reddy case as he trafficked 300 workers in the city of Berkeley, fought for caste equity in California textbooks, and worked with my fellow Dalit feminists to found Equality Labs, this is a journey of 15 years, a journey of centuries, as caste-oppressed people have been fighting in the state and in our homelands for our freedom. And the need for this bill is urgent. For our research at Equality Labs has found that 1 in 4 caste-oppressed people face physical and verbal assault. 1 in 3 educational discrimination, and 2 out of 3 workplace discrimination. We have then some of the highest rates of discrimination of any Asian American community in the state. That is why we are here to stand in our truth and to organize for our freedom. We know that we might face threats. We know that we might face bigotry, but we will meet our opponents with love and empathy. For this is how we turn our pain into power. For we are unstoppable in our commitment to be free of caste discrimination. This bill is centuries in the making, as our ancestors are here flanking us, unapologetically joyful as we make history together. That is why we thank Senator Wahab's office for leading with courage on this historic bill, and we look forward to making California the first state in the nation to pass caste equity protections. Woo! I would like to invite my colleague Tanuja Gupta.
Good morning. My name is Tanuja Jane Gupta. I worked for Google for 11 years on products such as Docs, News, and Search. As I grew from an individual contributor to a senior people manager, I also advocated for workers' rights in the form of leading a global walkout against sexual harassment and successfully lobbying for Google to end its policy of forced arbitration. In September 2021, 2 Google employees approached me confidentially about caste discrimination they had witnessed at the company. They shared the struggles they faced of simply having a talk at Google about caste discrimination. I agreed to host this talk with Speaker Thenmuri in the following spring as part of a diversity and inclusion discussion series within my own team. This talk would have educated my former colleagues about how caste discrimination is a form of workplace discrimination, how this hierarchical system excludes people from public and private spaces based on a combination of endogamy, ancestry, and class, and how it permeates multiple sectors of labor. However, Google canceled the talk. When I challenged the decision, citing a disproportionate reaction to fear of a heckler's veto, Google retaliated against me for disrupting the workplace. The company automatically lowered my performance rating for the next cycle, affected my compensation, and deemed me ineligible for promotion for an unknown period of time. When I left Google, email threads that denied caste discrimination continued to spread throughout the company unchecked. I filed a counter-complaint and asked my parent company, Alphabet, for an investigation into Google leadership, citing several instances where Google vice presidents and executive officers violated conduct policies and Google's own workplace commitments. 4 months later, Alphabet concluded Google did nothing wrong. Alphabet issued no written report and no response to the 13-page complaint I filed, which contained screenshots and emails of several VPs and directors breaking HR protocols. I am not surprised. When caste is not a protected category, a company like Google will continue to claim its discrimination is not illegal. But not for long. Today, Senator Wahab introduces the first state legislation in this country's history to name and protect caste-based discrimination with SB 403, a bill to end discrimination on the basis of caste. This bill gives California's 19 million workers, 10% of whom are in tech alone, true legal recourse when experiencing workplace discrimination at a place like Google based on caste. To my former 82,000 Google coworkers here in California alone, this bill ensures that when a company claims it has a zero-tolerance policy for caste-based discrimination, there will be consequences when it turns out that claim is not true. California workers, tell your state senator that you stand firmly against caste-based discrimination. Tell your state senator that to effectively represent you, they too should co-sponsor SB 403. Make California make history this year by being the first state to end discrimination based on caste. Go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Govind Acharya, and I am here to represent Amnesty International, which is the largest grassroots human rights organization in the world. The right to equality and non-discrimination plays an absolutely essential role in achieving human rights for all. And this legislation does exactly that. Caste discrimination violates the human rights and dignity of millions worldwide, including here in California. The United Nations Special Rapporteur on Minority Issues states further that, quote, caste-based discrimination and violence goes against the basic principles of universal human dignity and equality as it differentiates between, quote, inferior and superior categories of individuals, which is unacceptable. These rights are unequivocal and necessary for justice and dignity, and this legislation is a necessary condition for that. Thank you. Pooja?
Hello, my name is Pooja. I am a Hindu Dalit. As a Hindu Dalit, I want to make sure we can make workplace safe for all workers and also all schools safe for children. Future Dalit generation in California must be protected. Pathways must be paved for our children to feel safe, and then there is justice when caste discrimination occurs. We are a community that has suffered for centuries, and I would like to repeat that. We are a community that has suffered for centuries, and protection will give us the human rights as citizens of California to live our life free from caste discrimination. Change can only happen when policies, protections are made explicit. We need to heal from the violence of caste, and as Hindus, it is our duty to stand in powerful interfaith, intercaste, and multiracial movement, which will work to remedy caste inequality by making it clear that caste discrimination is unlawful. And ending caste discrimination through this bill will set the table for a community to heal and reconcile. Thank you. I would like to now invite Prem Pariyar from Alameda County Human Rights Commissions.
Thank you, Pooja. I'm Prem Pariyar. I'm a Nepali Hindu Dalit. I'm a practicing social worker in the Bay Area and Alameda County Human Relations Commissioner. As a Nepali Hindu Dalit, I have experienced caste discrimination multiple times in California. I hope to escape caste violence when I arrived in the US in 2015, but only found myself becoming one of the countless caste-oppressed people facing rampant discrimination. When I was a restaurant worker, I do remember how the South Asian restaurant owners assigned a shared room for all the workers, and my co-workers who were identified as the dominant caste refused to share a room due to my caste-oppressed identity. I faced casteist slurs from my co-workers, harassment, waste theft, and ended up being homeless. Many Nepali Dalits Californians are facing caste-based discrimination every day in housing, workplace, schools, and place of worship. This is not only an Indian issue. This is not only Indian issue, but also rampant in Nepali diaspora and other South Asian diaspora. So, caste equity is workers' rights, human rights. As the social worker and Alameda County Human Relations Commissioner, the state of California must protect all the caste-oppressed Californians by supporting this bill, SB 403. This bill helps to create a safe workplace, a safe school environment for all, including caste-oppressed community. Enough is enough. Please vote yes on SB 403. Thank you. So, I would like to invite Amar.
My name is Amar Shergill. I am an executive board member of the California Democratic Party and a board member of the Sacramento Sikh Temple. And I want to be clear, caste discrimination is not exclusive of any religion, ethnicity, or geography. Folks in the Sikh faith, Hindu faith, Jains, Muslims, Christians, we deal with discrimination based on caste. And that's why in my role as an executive board member of the California Democratic Party, I felt it was my duty to ensure that our party was a safe space for all. It was my honor to introduce a bylaw amendment to ban caste discrimination in the California Democratic Party. And I want folks to note that it was passed without opposition. There was not one vote against in committee, not one vote against anywhere in California, because amongst Democrats, there is consensus that we stand against discrimination anywhere, anytime, any place. And I am just so proud of our Senator Wahab for introducing this legislation and ensuring that California writ large is now a place where caste discrimination is banned, and we can all ensure that this is a safe state for all and help lead the rest of the country to ensure that caste discrimination is banned. Thank you so very much. This is a change whose time has come.
Good morning, friends. My name is Shakeel, S-H-A-K-E-E-L, last name Syed, S-Y-E-D. I'm the Executive Director of South Asian Network, which is one of the largest service-based organizations in the state, serving the South Asian community. Inclusion is a priority within and outside our South Asian communities. And that's why we are clear that discriminating against working people in 2023 based on their caste is antithetical to any civil society. Our commitment to serving our members with dignity and equity is why we support SB 403 to end forever caste discrimination in California. We see caste operate among workers, survivors of intimate personal violence, and other service needs. Some of the complaints we have assisted with include wage theft, harassment, and discrimination in housing. And that's why we need this bill and urge all California legislators to sponsor and support this bill right away. And I thank on behalf of South Asian Network, Senator Wahab, for your courageous stand to introduce this first ever civil rights bill in the state of California. Thank you so much. With that, I would like to invite Shahira Bangar, who is a Dalit Sikh tech worker.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shahira J. Beam, as you can see from my hat. I was born and raised in California. I was harmed by caste at a very young age. I was just in high school when my dominant caste best friend at the time found out I was not from the dominant caste. As soon as she found out, she told other kids at school, and I was bullied for the rest of the school year. To this day, I'm still haunted by those nightmares and that bullying. Throughout college, I hid my caste identity in fear of being subjected to more bullying. Come post-grad, I landed my first full-time career working in tech in the heart of the Silicon Valley, where I was especially afraid of being marginalized. My worst nightmare came true when my supervisor at this tech startup started to interrogate my caste background and kept asking me what my real last name was. I felt helpless, I felt afraid of losing my job, and I was never protected. The first step for remedy is acknowledging that harm is caused by caste, and to protect caste-oppressed students and workers everywhere through caste equity protections. My family and I endure constant pain from caste violence. California, please protect me, my family, and generations to come by explicitly adding caste as a protected category. I also want to thank Senator Aisha Wahab for standing with the Dalit people of California. Thank you so much, and I would like to invite Deep from the Jakara movement.
Good morning, Jai Beam, Assalamu Alaikum, Namaste, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Nandeep Singh, and I'm the Executive Director of the Jakara movement, the nation's largest Sikh community and youth nonprofit, as well as a school board trustee in Fresno County. Caste was never quarantined in South Asia. As our communities came here in the diaspora, unfortunately, it often follows. But today we turn over a new leaf, a new beginning, a new tomorrow. I get to stand here with so many amazing organizations fighting for Dalit equality, fighting for workers' rights, fighting for social rights, fighting for human rights, as we challenge these oppressions of any type and any kind. SB 403 is a historic bill that seeks not only to increase California's commitment to inclusivity, it expands equity, it expands equality, it expands opportunity. Standing in solidarity with all types of Californians, the moment is now, the time is here, and we're excited to work on this together to get this over the top. I want to especially send a thanks to Senator Aisha Wahab as a freshman senator for fearlessly, for boldly leading from the front on this important human rights issue, and we're going to do it together. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to welcome Dr. Rajan.
Good morning, everybody, and good morning, Senator. My name is Dr. Rajan. I've been here in U.S. the last 65 years, and even though I was qualified as a physician and I did very well in my schools, I was still discriminated, and that's why I left my home country and I came to U.S. And here also we have been discriminated on the basis of the caste and professional meetings and the hospitals and everywhere else. And it's not till my 74th birthday, I said I have to free myself, and by the urge of my children and for everybody else, I decided that I should come out and be free. And despite definitive threats against me coming out, and I decided that I should come out and make our people free. And I want to thank Senator Wahab to making this possible. And thank you. And Jai Bhim. I want to introduce Nana, who's in the next generation, to address the issue.
Maybe we just move it so they can go ahead.
My name is Nana Bhatti, and I am 6 years old. I want to live in California where no one treats you differently because of your own caste. It makes me sad to know how much inequality my community has faced in the past, and I don't want to be it. I want it to be part of my future. I hope that we can treat everyone equal like Dr. Ambedkar and Martin Luther King did. Thank you, Senator Wahab, for making this bill. I know we will make it. We will make me and other children safer. That makes me very, very happy. I hope all of the California leaders will support Senator Wahab and vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you. As you guys heard, the many stories that were shared, this is a real issue. This is an issue that is growing in the state of California. And as I've said countless times, when we are becoming more diverse, our laws need to expand further and further. So I'm happy to take any other questions, but at the same time, I do want to share my communications director information. You can email at alicia.lawrence@sen.ca.gov. We will be fielding questions. Our office will be happy to meet with anybody, and as this bill moves along, we will be providing updates, and hopefully everyone can vote yes, and I do believe that my colleagues will be in support of this bill. Thank you.